Hello, my lovely friends all over the world. This is Pooja Gupta and Sean Smith right here in San Francisco. I am so excited because both of us are attending the world's greatest speaker training and it's awesome. Sean just won the North America's next greatest speaker and he is just amazing.
Came in
the
second.
first time he came in second.
Thanks for giving me the title, though. I appreciate it.
He's amazing. And so every time I've seen him on stage, the reason he's my coach is because whenever I see him on stage, he just lights the stage on fire. He is absolutely amazing. I would have wanted him to be there, but unfortunately he's not flying down for it, but he is ready and agreed to give us all some great advice on how and what we should do. So Sean, please tell us all what we should do.
Cool. Yeah, thank you for that. So Pooja and I were just talking about the TEDx event, and I didn't make the cut, and I don't know why she cut me yet, but I'll figure that out at some point in time. But anyway, in reality, I was just at that North America's Next Greatest Speaker contest, and I learned a ton of lessons. And so we were just chatting a couple weeks ago on that. Some of these lessons would be very valuable for you guys that are getting ready to do this TEDx event. And I would say number one, and I think you get this, that this is a big deal. I mean, so be very intentional with your messaging, be very strategic with how you leverage this opportunity. You know, the TEDx stage is a big deal, and the brand itself is a big deal. And you've probably seen all kinds of videos floating all over the internet, YouTube, with the TEDx in the background. And for you as a speaker to have the TEDx sign in the background, it's a big deal. And there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of people. You're hoping for like over 1,000 people live, right? Plus all the people that are going to watch videos, live stream, and all that stuff. So, don't freak out, but be really, really intentional and take this seriously, because you have a chance to leverage this, whether it's in your speaking demos or getting, speaking gigs from this or what have you. Just be really serious about it. Don't, and I would imagine most of you are already doing that. Don't take it for granted. And with this contest that I just went to, we had to do a 3-minute talk. And it was probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my career, is to try to condense this story and some kind of takeaway in 3 minutes. Now, I know you guys have a lot more than 3 minutes, but anytime you have a timed presentation, it's super important that basically every single sentence and every single word is completely intentional. I mean, you now have real estate, like every second matters. And so I spent about 3 hours working on my 3-minute talk, going over everything with a fine-tooth comb. My wife and I, we were looking at literally every single word, saying, is this word necessary? Is it important to say it was my next door neighbor instead of just a car hit me, right? And it was very difficult to do, but it was incredibly, incredibly valuable. So what you're going to get out of this experience, if you take it seriously, is you're going to get the gift of being incredibly intentional with every single word, every single second. Everything is measured and everything has a purpose. Every pause has a purpose. Every story, every takeaway, every concept, everything has a purpose, because you're really giving a 14 to 18 minute show. And I want you to take it with that level of seriousness, that you're really there to give these people a show, but to impact their lives. And I think a lot of people, when they think about giving this great talk, and this happened to me, it was really strange, because as I was telling you, I don't ever get nervous on stage anymore. But I was creating nerves at this contest is because I was focusing on being judged. I was focusing on now that we actually had judges there that would tell me whether I went on or not. But when we get on stage and we focus on judgment, we focus on whether the audience is going to like us, whether we focus on approval, we focus on our performance per se, then it'll plug you into all of your fears. It'll plug you into whether you're good enough or whether the topic is good enough. And I don't want you to plug into any of that stuff, because all that's going to do is get in the way of your connection. I mean, what you're there to do is connect with people and impact them. You've got 14 to 18 minutes with them. And if that's all you had with them, What would you say to leave a legacy, to leave a positive mark on all these lives that you're here to touch? So take the stage from a place of service. Don't take the stage from a place of trying to impress people. Try to impact them, but don't try to impress them. Because I think that'll just get you all caught up in all these things that you don't need to be caught up in. The other thing about having a timed talk is you've got to have mile markers, or time markers along the way. So 5 minutes in, you know where you should be roughly in your story. And you know that your ending takes 3.5 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever that thing is. And you got to make sure that you start that ending on time. I was telling Pooja that when I was doing my 6-minute talk, I was checking the time, and I looked down and I expected to see 2.5 minutes, and it was only 1.5 minutes left. And so as I was continuing to talk, I was literally having to edit stuff out in my mind. There was a piece of me that was like, okay, don't say this, don't say this, don't say this, you gotta say this, you gotta say this, you gotta say this, all while I was still talking. And I don't do that. I don't want you to get in that position because it's not easy to try to edit and talk at the same time. So have your ending down pat. Practice that over and over and over again. Leave them with some really good message, and know that when it's time to move into that, it's time to get there. And if you have to cut things out going up to the ending, then I would actually practice that. I would practice being a little long and knowing what you can cut out, like what's the backup plan, so that you can, at the 3.5 minute mark, let's say, just get right into your story. And the last thing I would say is practice this. Get in front of a camera, put the lights on, get yourself mic'd up, because what'll happen is if you just practice your story in front of a mirror or as you're just walking around, as soon as you get in front of the camera, that's a different environment. And just being in the different environment will, for most people, will cause them to have a hiccup on their story. I mean, when I was practicing my 3-minute talk, that happened to me. And like I say, I speak all the time. I don't get nervous at all. I do videos all the time. But just the new environment element caused me to kind of, I don't want to say freak out, but I needed to practice in front of the camera, in front of the lights, to get as good as I was when the camera and lights weren't there. And then I also want you to watch your footage and see what you can improve, right? See if there's some physical elements that you can improve. Maybe bring more life to your story. At this seminar today, we were talking about how you want to look for the words that you can make physical, right? So instead of just telling your story with just simple words, see if there's body movements, see if there's something that you can be animated with on certain elements of your story or certain words. And I also want you to really pay attention, as I said earlier, to each and every word. Watch yourself as though you're a part of the audience with as critical a mind as you possibly can have. I would rather you have a 12-minute talk down pat than a 17-minute talk with all this fluff in it. Because when you get in front of a live audience and you start telling stories and the audience starts reacting and responding to your stories, your 3-minute story a lot of times will become a 4-minute story because you have new thoughts and you just start to engage and interact. So I'd rather you have 12 minutes down cold than 17 minutes and then you get up on stage and it starts to expand and elongate and then you've got to cut stuff out. So I just want to share some of those tips and lessons that I learned a couple weeks ago. Hopefully it'll help you on some level. And I'm bummed that I won't be there to see you guys, but it's just a fantastic opportunity, as well as the ability to work with my Pooja out there in Chennai. So I wish you all the best. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know. Is there anything that you wanted to add? Or
No, I mean, this is fantastic stuff. So I think all of us here are going to definitely make use of it. And like you said, every word's got to be intentional. So once I have my speech ready, you better be ready to listen to it again and again and again and again till you're like, okay, I'm wearing my headphones, but you can keep repeating it. So yeah, I'm really excited about this event, and hopefully you'll surprise us by flying down to just watch.
Yeah, I might ride my bike out there or something. Yeah. But you guys have a really cool opportunity. I'll be there in spirit and can't wait to hear more about it.
Thank you.